Hey guys, it's Jen from beautyriotx. I took a little break to focus on what's going on in the Black community and acknowledge that there are huge things to acknowledge. And I'm a white woman, so I had to take a step back and acknowledge that it's a privilege for me to realize that's not my reality. And that was heartbreaking to realize. You know, I've donated during this time and been active on social media and sharing, being as proactive and voicing what I can, and I will continue to do so. I hope you guys do too. I'm gonna share links below that I think are really important. And this is about caring about other people. And I don't think it's anything that needs to be explained. This was the part I was scared about. I was scared about, what do I say when I come back? And I'm thinking too much about it, but yeah, that's what I'm gonna say. Links are below, please check them out. If you're able to donate, please do. If you can't, share them. Do what you can, if that's what you can do. As long as we're all moving in that same direction, that's all that matters. Support. So today's video, we are talking about my go-to products for glowy makeup. And this isn't like all highlighters. There are some highlighters in this video, but it's not just highlighters. So I'm gonna start with blushes that are not around anymore. I only have 3 of them. And I didn't mean to put them in here, but I just grabbed them and then I realized, oh crap, these 3 aren't around anymore. So I'm gonna start with one of my oldest ones, and it might be one of my top like 10 blushes. And I say 10 blushes and you're like, 10 blushes? That's a lot of blushes for your top 10. I own like 150 blushes, so 10 isn't really that big a deal. This is the Mirabella Neon Muse Loose. It's called a face pigment, but it's clearly a blush, in the shade Tail of Tangerine. One of my Instagram followers, which might be one of you, but I don't recognize the name because the avatar picture is like blank, but she said, you mentioned an orange blush or a coral blush and you said you wished you would have got 2 had you known you wouldn't be able to find it again or something like that. And I'm like, what are you talking about? Like, describe it to me. I'm still waiting to hear back, but I feel like it might be one of the ones that I'm gonna talk about now. This shade is amazing. I either got this, I'm pretty sure I got this in a Oneable box. If you don't remember Oneable, it was like one of the first oh shit, on shingles. Okay, it wasn't that much, it's okay. It's one of the first mystery boxes, subscription boxes, that was ever released. This was one of my first ever like corally or orangey blushes. It is a little bit of pink, but that's one of the reasons that coral orange blushes are my go-to, because it makes you look glowy. It makes you look healthy, it makes you look flushed. It just makes your skin look healthy, glowy, brighter. I don't know how to describe it. I'm gonna be using the words glowy, brighter a million times, so I'm sorry. The next, I think Wet n Wild discontinued this shade, or it's just not in stores anymore. I'm not sure, but I never see it in stores anymore. This is the Wet n Wild Color Icon Apricot in the Middle blush. This is gorgeous. It has a tiny bit of a sheen, nothing crazy, but it's gorgeous. It's a kind of slightly nude shade. Definitely like on the corally peachy side, but it also has a tiny, tiny, tiny bit of a gold shift to it. Not enough to be considered a highlighter, but just enough to give you like a little bit of a sheen. I'm not wearing it, I don't know why I'm doing that, but I'm trying to interpret a sheen for it. Anyway, I feel like this might be the blush my follower was talking about. This is the Essence Blush Up Powder Blush in Heat Wave. This was a limited edition blush from Essence from like 2 years ago, I think. This is incredible. They put out 2 or 3 of them. I have 2 of them. One's more pinky, cool toned, almost with like one side is purplish, one side is pink. I mean, it's got like 3 shades in it because the middle is kind of mixed. So amazing, so gorgeous. I die over this. It's so pigmented. I mean, you have to be careful when you use it. It's matte, but it has enough, the orangey coralness of it gives you like a glow for some reason. I don't know why, but it does. And I'm so glad it does, because then I wouldn't have it to put in this video. The next are blushes you can find anywhere. The first is our cult favorite, Luminoso. I heard from someone, I don't remember who, it was recent. Did they redo the Baked Blush formula? I feel like somebody said Luminoso, the formula was redone, like Milani's Blake blushes. This is the Baked Powder Blush in Luminoso. This has been around forever. It's a cult classic. I feel like Leanne Says turned me on to this. This is like magic. This is just a much more severely highlighted version, I feel like, of my apricot in the middle from Wet n Wild. Oh, it's so gorgeous though. I mean, Milani got it so right with these. The next is a blush palette, and this is from Olimar Cosmetics. We got this in BoxyCharm, I believe, like a while ago. I have two of these. I have Fair Light and I have the medium, like the medium. I love them both. But this one, I love these two orangey shades, and then you have this more like kind of neutral one in the middle. These just take my breath away. They're so pigmented, so beautiful. And again, this just gives you that glowiness to your face. The next are two cream blushes. The first is no surprise. I mean, everybody loves this. This is the Flower Blush Balm from Flower Beauty in Melon. We have a bunch of shades. This is one of the most popular ones. Oh, these blend out so beautifully. Not crazy. I mean, you're not gonna look like a clown after you put this on. You can set it, you don't have to. It dries down really nice, doesn't stay wet, but it still gives you kind of a natural finish to where it doesn't look oily or greasy or anything like that. The next is from Kaja. This is it doesn't actually say on here. I don't know. This is from Kaja. This is the shade Koi, number 1. This is a more neutral kind of shade. You can't see this that well, but this gives you like a dewy finish, and this is kind of more neutral. I think this is gorgeous, but this gives you like more of a dewy finish. Ugh, if you have drier skin, normal to dry, you'll love this. And the color is just amazing. I want more shades of this. I got this from my Trend Mood giveaway winnings. Now we'll move on to highlighter. We'll do the powders first. I mean, Cookie. Fucking Cookie. I mean, it is a magical, magical color. The formula is very beautiful as well. You can't go wrong with this. The next is also, it's newer from Milani. This is the Highlighter Duo Cream Powder in Supercharged, number 110. So we have the cream and then powder on this side. I think this is the lightest one that I could find. The only thing that sucks though is they have I couldn't find swatches anywhere for any of the shades. So we have the cream right here, and look, it's like wet looking, and then the powder right here. I don't like pink highlighters, but it's so like translucent almost. You can't even see the pink. So we have the pink here and then the cream. Ugh. So next is Nabla Skin Glazing Glass Skin Finish Glow Powder in Ozone. Again, I'm sure you've heard about this from tons of people. The formula of this is there's something different about it. It looks similar as I'm swatching it next to other things, but when you put it on with a brush, there's something different about it. I can't describe it, but there's something different about it. The other one I was surprised to like this much was from Laura Mercier. I got this for $10 at Marshall's when it was open. I can't wait until Marshall's reopens. There's one like 5 minutes from my house. This is the Matte Radiance Baked Powder Highlight in number 1. It's one of like the raised powders. It is so pretty, and I don't want to say subtle, but you can see it next to all the other ones. And I get what they mean by matte radiance, because it's definitely different than the other ones. You don't have that wet metallic-y look to it. It still has a radiance glowiness to it. I can't describe it, but I mean, this is beautiful, and it's so finely milled. And the rest are like creams, gel, highlighters. The next two are the ones that I'm wearing. And the first is from London, and this is the Glazin Highlighting Gel in the shade Chandelier. I have this one on this side, and I'll zoom you in. So this has a slightly pink hue to it. When you look at it in the tub. It doesn't look actually pink though. And it's very cream-like. Like, it's not gel. It's very, the viscosity is very, there's gels, there's creams, and this is like thin consistency, let's say. It's really hard to describe. It's the only one I have like it. And it's almost translucent. It's just very thin. I think most people could actually get away with this. And the one I have on this side, which is definitely more metallic and more like BAM, is one of my favorites. This is the Sleek Makeup Highlighting Elixir Illuminating Drops in Poppin' Bottles. I mean, this is just pure metal. And this is definitely like thicker, as you can see. They're both gorgeous though. I mean, this is definitely more for you if you're more on the subtle side, but you want that like glossy skin. And then this one is definitely more if you want more. The next is also one of my favorites. This is the Makeup Revolution Jelly Highlighter in Monumental. It looks gold, it's really not. And this is one of the ones like that is super thick jelly that like jelly. This one you can literally just kind of dab on your hand and then tap on and that's it. I don't know if you can find this one anymore though. I think they either discontinued it or it's just not sold anymore. I don't know. I mean, I guess discontinue means it's not sold anymore. I have like an extra backup because I love it so much. I've had this one for a while, like it hasn't dried out. The next is a product much loved by Samantha Ravindal and Jessica Braun. This is the Glow Stick Glistening Illuminator in number 700 from Marc Jacobs. I found this for like, I want to say between like $8 and $10 from Marshall's. I think it's normally like $40. Super pretty. I mean, honestly, it's not something I would ever pay like full price for. I don't think it's worth that much, but still really pretty. But it has that really nice kind of glossy skin, that translucence that I really like to give you that kind of wet cheek look. Also something that is very similar and one that I completely love is the Light Stick from ColourPop. No, Light Sticks in the shade Starbright. I used my finger to apply this. Oh, this is just pure magic. This is a little bit more of a champagne shade than the Marc Jacobs, but oh, it's just so gorgeous. It blends out amazing. Really good staying power. I love this. I didn't like the blushed sticks though for some reason. They were really patchy. The two that I tried, I didn't like. I think I have the shade Earth too, but it's a little too pink for my liking. Now on to the rest of the face makeup that I really like for glowy skin. A lot of people don't like this. I love this foundation. This is the CoverGirl Clean Fresh Skin Milk Nourishing Foundation. I have the shade 540 Light. It has like a satiny dewy finish. I think this is a beautiful foundation. I have no problems with it. I've heard other people say like it left this weird rash on them and made them break out. I haven't found that to be true. The next is what I'm wearing today. This is the Wet n Wild Photo Focus Dewy Finish Foundation. I have two shades I mixed together. I'm wearing that today. This is soft ivory and then I have soft beige. I don't know which shade I actually am. This is too light. This is too dark. This is a beautiful foundation. It does not have that horrible paint smell that the original Photo Focus foundation had. I feel like it's a more medium finish. You probably could build it up to a full, but I like that it leaves your skin very skin-like but luminous and slightly dewy, not like wet, but it just looks better throughout the day. It looks healthy. I'm a huge fan of this foundation. Jessica Braun convinced me to try it. I didn't want to try it at first because I was like, it's not gonna be anything great. But after seeing her trying it and her love it, I was like, I'll try it. It's not expensive. And it's one of my favorite foundations. The next are a few powders. I will do Pressed first. This is definitely a more illuminating powder. It definitely leaves a subdued, highlighty look to your skin. This is the Revolution Pro Skin Finish in Luminescence. They have a few different, I don't want to say shades, but like, I guess shades. Definitely get away with putting it all over your face. You could also get away with using it just as a highlighter. But this is very similar to the Milani Prep Set Glow Illuminating Powder. And I'll put them side by side. You have a little bit more of a sheen from the Revolution Pro. The Milani's a little bit more subdued, but still beautiful. The Milani does give you a little bit of a glowy finish, but again, if you're not quite sure if you want to go glowy, like the Revolution Pro, then you might want to try the Milani, because the one I'm wearing today, which is much more severe, is the NYX High Glass Finishing Powder. I have the shade Light. I think they only have 2 or 3 shades. I'm not sure, but I have Light. I saw Betty Jean from Beauty Beam wear this. Oh my God, it's gorgeous. I didn't think I'd like it as much as I do, but I love it. It's a little bit more than the Revolution Pro. So if you were ranking it from like the most glowy to the least, I would say NYX, Revolution Pro, and then Milani would be last. the least bit glowy. Beautiful if you love that all over sheen, but it's not too much. Like, it doesn't look ridiculous. I can get away with wearing this like out of the house too. And I feel like this matches my skin tone the best. The Revolution Pro luminescence might be a little bit more for my skin tone in the winter when I'm a little bit paler. This is really good right now for the summer when I just have a hint of color. The last two are my favorite glowy loose powders. The first is from e.l.f. and this is the Halo Glow Loose Powder in Light. This is magnificent. It's so finely milled. I'm in love with it. There's no glitter in it or anything like that. It definitely gives you an all over glow to the skin. It has a little bit of color to it, nothing crazy, but there's definitely a little bit of a sheen. And again, not glitter, but something is there. I can't describe it, but it's something. Next is from Laura Mercier. This is the Translucent Setting Powder in Glow Translucent. Again, I got this for $10 at Marshall's as well. This is a little bit deeper than e.l.f. and this is a little bit glowier. It has a little bit more of a sheen to it. It's very hard to tell on camera because of all the lighting, but it's closer to the NYX High Glass, and then the e.l.f. is a little bit more subdued. I'll highly recommend either of these if you can find them in stores. The last three things I have are setting sprays, face sprays, what have you. The first is the L'Oreal Lumi Shake and Glow Dew Mist. This is like for serious wet sweat face. If you don't like to look that way, don't touch this. The next is the higher end illuminating setting spray from Cover Effects. This can be tricky. I've had a friend apply too much and her face looked like metal. Yeah, you can actually kind of see a little bit. I don't know if you can actually see, but on my hand there's actual like metallic pieces in this. So you have to hold it far from your face and use it sparingly, but it leaves a beautiful, fine mist. It doesn't get as crazy as this, but this is beautiful if you use it correctly. And then the last thing we have here is the Catrice Prime and Fine Dewy Glow Fixing Spray. I wish this was a bigger bottle. That's my only kind of issue. You can use this either as a primer or as a setting spray, and it leaves your makeup to melt into your skin beautifully. It leaves this nice little dewy layer on your skin, and it makes your makeup beautifully for the day. It doesn't make you look oily. It's not as dewy looking as this, so if you don't want to be like total sweat face, you'll love this. So I recommend, like, for normal to dry skin, this is great, but if you love dewy sweat face, go with this. So that was it for my favorite makeup products that are kind of my go-tos, what I use when I want that beautiful kind of glassy, glowy skin. Let me know what your favorite products are in the comments below. Thank you so much for watching, and don't forget to check out my description box. And if you're looking for any Black-owned makeup brands, I have literally a list of 100 on my Instagram. You don't have to subscribe, I'm not asking that, but I will leave a link to my Instagram post that in the comments I have found tons and tons and tons of Black-owned makeup brands that you have to check out. Thank you so much for watching. Until next time, I'll see you guys later. Bye. Say bye.
Bye.